Hello, I'm just going to make this video to have a quick introduction to Tantese, which is a language I made up. So it won't have like a bunch of vocabulary. It'll primarily just be an introduction to the grammatical structure. And it'll start with a basis in English because I assume that's the language that the people watching this are familiar with. Because there are some grammatical concepts in this language that are somewhat foreign to English speakers, so I'll start by relating it to English. So, you know how in English, we have the word I, which means, you know what I means, and me. Have you thought about the fact that these essentially mean the exact same thing? They refer to the same exact idea, just in different contexts. You use I when it's the subject, and you use me when it's the object. So like I don't know, I told Jack, Jack told me. Like, they mean the exact same thing. And in English, the only words that really behave this way are pronouns. So you have I, me, he, him, she, her, we, us, stuff like that. That's actually not normal for a lot of languages. A lot of languages make it where every single noun goes through this process. Well, they're called declensions, where the noun changes depending on how it's used in the sentence. And each different context is called a case. In Tantese, there are 4 different cases that nouns can be declined into. So noun declension, there are 4 cases. There's nominative. By the way, English has these cases. They just don't affect how most nouns are changed. There's nominative, accusative, dative, and genitive. You don't need to memorize these. Well, it would probably be best if you did. But it's more important for you to know what they mean. So nominative is the subject. So let's take a situation of I, then this would be I. That's the first person singular pronoun in the nominative case. Then for accusative, that is the direct object. So it would be me. So like I told Jack, that'd be the nominative, and then Jack told me would be the direct object. Then dative is the indirect object. This is when you're not the one doing the action, and but an action is being done to you. Probably best, for example, this would be direct object would be Jack told me. Like me is the direct object. It is directly what is being done by the verb. Indirect object would be if the sentence was phrased, Jack said it to me. In this situation, it is the direct object of it. He said it. It is what he said. However, me is still an object of the noun said, but there's a bit more meaning conveyed in the situation. So that's the indirect. So direct, indirect. And in English, there's no difference. They're just considered the object. So this is also me. Genitive is possessive. Yeah, possessive. And so this would be my. This isn't a noun. This is an adjective because it's describing like my ball, my car. It's describing it by relating it to myself. So that's why, like, yeah. So in English, most nouns would just fall into, say, like car, like the car ran the red light. I hit the car. I walked to the car. The only one is that genitive. You would be like, I hit the car's horn. So that'd be N-A-D-G. However, in Tantese, it's not like that. Let's take, for example, the word dog. Dog. So this is just an example. I'll go into more detail about the different declensions, but in Tantese, when the dog is the subject of the sentence, then the word is schon. C makes the sh sound. So schon, the accusative would be sho, the dative is sheen, and the genitive is shell. So the word dog is masculine. If you're familiar with Spanish or any Romance languages, you'll know about grammatical gender. And that is the case in Tantese too. Every noun is either masculine or feminine, and dog is masculine. So let's take the word, if we want to go the other direction, then we could do the word cat, which is feminine. So N-A-D-G. Cat, the root of the word dog is just the letter sh, but for cat it's gat. So the nominative would be gata, because a is the ending. The accusative is gatai. The dative is gatin. The dative is same for both genders, and the genitive is gatal. So keep in mind, all of these in English, this would be the same. This would be the cat walks, I walk the cat, I walk with the cat, and then this would be the cat's milk or something like that. Most of these would just be the same. So, yeah, you really just have to memorize the endings. So the masculine endings are, so for nominative, the endings are on and os. This is for plural. For accusative, it is o. Notice there's no plural. Don't worry about that. I'll get into that. Then dative, that's in and is. Keep in mind these ones are plural. And then genitive is l and n. Then the feminine endings, that's feminine, feminine. Then the nominative, the singular is a. Then us. The accusative ending is I. The dative is in, is. It's the same. The dative is same for both. And then genitive is al and an. So if we were to do this chart for dogs, it would be it would be shos, same, shis, and shin. And for cats, it would be gatas, gatai, again, that's the same, gatis, and gatan. So yeah, these you really just have to memorize. It's good to make sure, try to get like an intuitive understanding of the nominative, accusative, dative, and genitive. And that'll help you figure out how to do that. The interesting thing about having cases like this is that essentially means you can put the words in the sentence in any order you want. Because for example, say I have like I, what's a good one? Like say I hit Sam, Sam hits me. In English, if you switch that around, probably say Sam hits Jack, Jack hits Sam. The meaning of the sentence totally changes depending on that, because the where how a word behaves is totally dependent on where it is in the sentence. Jack hits Sam, Jack is the subject, Sam is the object, but then you switch it and it's the same. However, when the meaning is actually coded in the word itself, you could have it either way. Like say the dog hits the cat, that would be, you would have dog as shon and cat as gatai. But if you were to say the cat hits the dog, you would have cat as gata and dog as sho. So you could actually have them in any order you want, because you wouldn't have the meaning either way, because you know how the words are changed. I just realized how long this video is. Probably gonna have to make another video to explain verbs. So I guess I'll see you then.